I don't. I like barely know anything about health, and I just know that white rice gets digested in the body, and it becomes glucose or whatever, and it becomes sugar. So
That's true, but the most important part about food ingestion is the burning of carbs, right?
Mm.
So no matter what, if you burn it off, obviously don't eat sludge because sludge burns like it's like a vehicle. If you put very poor fuel in it, obviously it's gonna burn, and then the vehicle will take the damage, right? But if you put the fuel in, you burn the fuel, and it's clean fuel. So like if you eat, like we're saying, white rice with like a clean meal, you burn off the carbs. You don't have to worry as much about the sugar. It's more about the carb intake. So if you count calories, it's annoying as that fucking is.
well, I'm very concerned with the amount of like sugar the intake that I take.
Then yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have to watch your sugar intake, then watch your sugar intake.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I always thought that it was about calories and carbs. Never
No,
mind.
yeah.
If you have to watch sugar intake, 100%.
No, yeah. If you
Diminish
watch
your sugar.
carbs, then that's something.
Brown
else,
sugar is
you know?
delicious, in my opinion.
Does that affect regular sugar? Or, like,
Yeah.
can you eat
So
sugar?
white sugar has, or white rice has more sugar in it. Brown rice has less sugar in it. I'm not sure about how significant it would be. I would say to like talk to your doctor, but like ask them, or if you have a nutritionist. Or like
That's
maybe
what I
do a
gotta
little bit
ask.
more research.
That's what I gotta ask about.
But brown rice is better than white rice for as far as the sugar intake, and brown rice has more grains in it, so
Okay.
it's better for your stomach and the rest of your digestive system.
All right.
White rice is basically essentially all sugar.
I still ain't going near it, bro. I still ain't going near just
Yeah.
plain sugar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll drink a Modelo. I know that's fucked up. I know that's like bad for your bad for the liver and shit. You know what I mean? Like, but as far as I know, beer doesn't get converted into the body as sugar. Am I wrong?
It's basically yeast.
Yeah, right.
So
it's yeast.
it is in one form of sugars. It gets broken down and becomes sugars at a certain point.
Yeah.
I
googled
but it's
it.
not
I
immediately
googled it.
sugar.
Yeah, I googled it and it said that beer doesn't contain any sugar after it's but I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Duh.
Google be lying to you. You know what I mean?
Well, Google doesn't necessarily lie to you. It's more of like learning how to ask the right question. When you learn how to ask the right question, then Google will give you the answer that you're looking for.
That's
but
fair.
East? I thought you said Weast. Patrick the GOAT. I love Patrick.
Oh my goodness, Patrick is the goat. All right, I'm gonna go get another beer. I had a salad today, so I deserve this beer.
You do?
I'll be right back.
You need 3, Lena? Damn, that must be nice. Beer is definitely like the worst as far as like the casual drink. Sadly, it's like the worst, even though it's the most casually like convenient. As far as the diet wise, it's the worst. Yeah, that's what most people need. That's good. Alcohol is actually not good for you. It's not good for you in general, especially mid to low grade. That's the worst to drink. Weed is 0 calories, Hazy. You're right, but
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
yeah. Weed is 0 calories, but the problem with ingesting cannabinoids is that it pushes your desire to consume a lot more calories. Tequila is best for calories. Any clear hard liquor. Yeah, sadly liquor is the best for calories, even though it's like the least easy to be drank in like moderation. Does that make sense? What's up, Jay? Good to see you in the chat. We wish you could be here, but Not getting the munchies anymore off weed is you must be bodhisattva, because I've been smoking weed since I'm like 13 and I'm like fucking like 30 now. And I still get the munchies. It's built different, I guess. Reaches back. What's up, Christian?
All right, I'm back.
AKA Will.
We're right back to it. We got Monkey Senpai versus
No, that's Monkey
Mothman.
Hentai.
Monkey Hentai?
Oh, I got the hit on Phoenix.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, show me.
People have hit Phoenix before and killed before. I mean,
Yeah.
not to put salt on a wound, but
No,
you killed Phoenix a few times and he managed to
Yes.
have
Absolutely.
a comparable shell enough
No.
to still win.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to know why? When it comes to my team, I can kill Phoenix and still lose. It's because Morgan, Magneto, MODOK can't do shit to Morgan.
Yeah.
Can't do shit to Morgan.
They
sorry.
win the game that they excel at versus other characters. Like Magneto, MODOK, they win the full screen. But against Morgan, Morgan wins the full screen against almost everybody.
She astrals, right?
Yeah.
And if I dodge everything, I still have to go in and
You still have to play, yeah.
I still have to go in and eat like 15, 20, 30% health to like astral balls every time I hit the ground, and that's like 2 or 3 times during.
Realistically,
astral.
like your best option is to get a good throw, air throw or ground throw, because otherwise you're eating a shit ton of damage. Or
I just have to mix up my descents to the ground.
Yeah.
I have to mix it up. He knows that I'm gonna come down, so he like puts out a bunch of like fireballs.
Yeah.
But if I mix up my descent, then it should be all good. Mothman is really smart about it, though. You know what I mean? So he's like really like, you know.
He's not a person that's definitely carried. You can't say Mothman's carried by his character. Some people you can definitely say like they're carried, but his decision making is very, very solid, very good.
His gameplay, his decision making is really solid. It's
Mechanical
really
skill,
good.
yeah.
It's really good. So it's not like I don't know. I mean, to say that Mothman is carried is to say like that he doesn't deserve his wins, but he really does, because he's the one playing his team. You know what I mean? Like,
he's the only person I've seen play MODOK without using meter.
Yeah.
Be as successful as he is.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of a kind for sure.
Because other people they play MODOK and they use meter and they're less successful.
Yeah.
Or there are some people like we can say like the best MODOKs of all time, like use meter or don't use meter. Mothman is one of the only ones that doesn't actually use meter in the league of the only MODOKs that we would actually talk about when it comes to the conversation.
Right.
And so meter use aside, or meter use, like he is actually like that guy.
Look, this is the only shtick I have with Mothman, right? I believe if you're gonna talk about Mothman, you know, MODOK, you can say anything you want, right? And he definitely is up there with like the best MODOKs, but it's like the team isn't a MODOK based team.
No,
right?
no.
It's like the team definitely depends on whether or not he gets Dark Phoenix, right? Or like whether he has Morgan. He's definitely like up there in the top echelon of like MODOKs and stuff like that. But like I don't know. It's like when people say like the best MODOK, I don't know. I feel like you have to have like a MODOK based team for that. But I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Like that's just personal opinion. You know what I mean? And like if you want to talk about most successful in SoCal right now, Mothman is definitely most successful with MODOK right now. You know
I
what
mean, because there's not really enough MODOKs in general, like historically, to bring to the table. Like, what is there, like 10
that's just an unfortunate
tournament
truth. Yeah, that's just
players
an unfortunate truth.
of like that you actually use MODOK?
Yeah, that like plays high and like
yeah,
farther
exactly.
in
That you could
tournaments and stuff
actually
like
respect.
that.
Like you,
It's
like
just an
you and I,
unfortunate
we're
truth.
in different. Like I would say, we're in different skill brackets as far as like our results and how we play and everything like that. But we can still agree, like across the board, how many MODOKs can actually hang with my level that is below yours, and that can actually hang with the level that you're at. How many MODOKs are in that giant window of players?
It's like
There's not
many people.
It sucks, but
it's just the truth that like MODOK just hasn't had enough representation. I feel like if the game was like esports and if the game was like super like
I even when this game was extremely popular, people would play it, but they wouldn't stick with it, dude. People find
now I have a rebuttal for you, and that is that even if this like when this game was popular, esports was not as developed for like the FGC, right? Now, if the FGC was more developed and like this game was seen as something like a League of Legends or like an Overwatch, where like people played it, more like a lot of people played it, and there were even people that just casually played it, and they were like in the thousands. I feel like MODOK would definitely be picked more because he has the potential.
Right.
And more people would see the potential, and more people would see the strengths. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but I feel like because we're in the FGC, unfortunately, you know what I mean? Not to poop on it or anything like that, but it is pretty grassroots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
it's poverty compared to other esports categories.
And so, like, because it's so poverty, not many people that like are really like not that much competition is looking to like be involved in the game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. Like, the way I'm saying it nice. I'll say it truthfully. I'll say it straight, okay? Straight, this game needs a lot more money for it to be, like, for it to attract people that will see the potential and just see the masses, right? To attract the masses that would see the potential in the character. You know what I mean? Like someone like Mothman, there could be somebody like Mothman that sees the potential. You know what I mean? But what happens if we have like a RyanLV that sees the potential in like MODOK?
And
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like takes it even further. You know what I mean? Like, what happens then? And I think that only happens if your game is really like esports and just commercially successful as like one of those games like League of Legends or Overwatch, or you know what I mean?
It's hard to say though, because this game is so different than a game like Overwatch, where Overwatch obviously is a team-based game,
right?
And as popular as it gets, there are certain people that just don't fuck with it. They just don't. They don't like it. It's not fun and like the right thing. Yeah. Like the mechanics of it feel too quote-unquote broken. And I've spoke with, in my experience, I should say, my experience, the people that I've spoke with in the fighting game community, when it comes down to Marvel, they just can't. This game just feels just too oppressive or too fucked up, or just like they don't know how to play against somebody who actually plays. And that's the thing that deters them, instead of like you're saying like, oh, I don't feel like there's any like future in it, or like there's no like prize pool for the tournament coming up. Like that's never a thing that I hear from people. It's always like the game is just too hard.
The game is difficult. But I feel like if like the prize pools was in the thousands,
it would inspire more people to play.
It would definitely inspire. That's my whole point. Is that like it would definitely inspire more people to play the game, more people to pick up the characters. You know what I mean?
It's similar, but it's also like we could say the similar thing about how we were talking about Melee earlier. Melee has a similar thing where it's moderately esports. We were talking about how much some of the Melee players make off of what they've been known for winning. And like winning multiple tournaments, but they're not actually living off of winning Smash tournaments.
Yeah.
They're winning off of being known for winning Melee tournaments.
Right.
They're getting hella
Right.
sponsors. They're getting
Right.
HyperX, Honda, etc., etc. The sponsors can go on forever, but
Yeah.
it seems to me like in fighting games, you winning over everything, like beating everybody, winning all these tournaments, that speaks more than even just your game. Because your game can be known and can be liked, but like some of the greats of Marvel 3 that have gotten great and like really well known off of Marvel 3 have gone on to like make a lot of money with their name off of that and not necessarily off of winning in Marvel. They've gotten known from Marvel, but they didn't get the ability to pay for themselves and make a living from Marvel.
So what you're kind of saying, not directly, but like you're saying that nobody that has like gotten super popular has gotten popular from Marvel alone.
I wouldn't say nobody, but it's more often that they get known from Marvel, from winning at Marvel, but they're not getting a living off of winning their tournaments and like getting prize pools and getting things from winning the tournaments. It's more so their notoriety of being known
Before
and then getting
that.
a sponsor from winning Marvel tournaments.
Right.
And then being like, oh, we respect them in the fighting game like they're respected in Marvel, and they play other games, and like they kind of like the hearsay and like being respected. Like, for example, like Justin Wong has a ridiculous, track record of winning games.
Yeah.
But a significant amount of like his legacy is what actually gave him his notoriety in being like sponsored by a shit ton of people now.
Right.
Like he's had decent sponsors over the years, but it seems like only really now, like with his YouTube and the Twitch streaming and like the things like that, his notoriety has started to snowball with sponsors and things like that.
Yeah.
Similar thing with Chris G. Chris G has won a shit ton of tournaments, probably more tournaments realistically than any other Marvel player. But a majority of his finances comes from his sponsorships and from his notoriety and being sponsored through YouTube and like little things that pay, microtransactions over like the long-term periods. More of the Marvel players make a living off of sponsors than they actually do off of the tournaments. And like you're saying, maybe if they were more inspired, like the community to play Marvel for that reason, but I also don't think that's the most important thing. Like we know, like loving Marvel, it doesn't always pay, but like playing Marvel and being in this spot, in my opinion, the best fighting game. I think Marvel's the best fighting game.
No.
And we know that. And we can go to sleep
absolutely.
and we can rest with that easy.
Yeah.
That still doesn't pay our bills when we have the nicest techs and
unfortunately,
we can go and we can pop up a stream and I could cook 50 out of 60 Virgil players that come into my lobby. But as soon as the nice ones come in, I might get smoked. But does that help me actually make a living? Probably not.
No, yeah. It is a predicament where like you have players like Justin Wong, Chris G, you know what I mean? Even players like a lot of
Dual
players.
Kevin.
Dual Kevin.
Yeah, like we
Dual
have
Kevin
NorCal players.
actually is one of the guys that proves me wrong because Dual Kevin did come up with just Marvel 3. And he's gone on to be like sponsored a little bit by like this very. It's not like the most biggest sponsorship, but it is a sponsorship from Marvel alone, and it does like prove me wrong. But like for the most part, right now, like it's tough to say that Marvel pays for the builds. It definitely doesn't. It's unfortunate, but it doesn't. And it definitely does go to show that. Like Chris G, Justin Wong, all those guys, they've been popular before, and Marvel just kind of like showed that, hey, these guys can like be good at this ridiculous game and still be amazing and still be like, you know what I mean? It's still like a testament to their skills. It's more of a testament to their skills than anything else. But it's like, I personally would love to see like. Okay, so here's a good example. This is actually like a pinnacle example of mine, and that is that we had a player like Umisho. Umisho, who just recently, well, not recently, but it's been a bit of time. He won the Strive Evo.
I think Umusho is female, right?
I'm not sure.
I think
I
Umusho
will. I will. I'm sorry. I will refer to them as they, because I'm not sure exactly what.
Yeah,
they
they were Overwatch contender player.
They were.
And that was like their first or second tournament that they showed up.
Yes.
I remember that.
They were very skilled, and so it showed. In my opinion, that shows that there are people out there that contend in other games that have the potential to be very strong in fighting games. But they just don't. They just maybe are not interested, or
they're just not in the avenue. Regardless of whether they're interested or they haven't heard about it, it's the avenue that they're not in.
Right. And so it just shows that players from other games have the potential to be very, very skilled in fighting games, but they just haven't gotten their opportunity to really place in those games because I don't know, maybe there's not enough money, or compared to Overwatch. The money that you could potentially gain from becoming a professional player in the FGC is not as high. But Umi's show definitely showed that there's a definite there could right is the big thing. There could potentially be a group of players that could come up to the game and say, hey, we've got this giant skill set. We've got this skill gap that we're able to play, and get to that skill level. We just are interested in other games that potentially, have more of a payoff than Marvel 3.
But I can give you a counter argument to that because I have played a lot of Dota growing up. I played a lot of Dota. I think I started playing in 2010.
Yeah. And
I have a ridiculous amount of time, right? Yeah. Regardless of my amount of time, I understand the game well enough to look at it from a critical, standpoint of whether it's good or not competitively, or inside of the game, what is good and what's not good, or etc. Okay. But Dota 2 has one of the highest paying prize pools ever in history, multiple years in a row.
Okay.
But it's because of the international. International is their big tournament.
Yeah.
The rest of the year, their competitor, League of Legends, it's basically those two at the top of the MOBA chain.
Yeah.
League of Legends has a higher payout for the rest of the year, and they have a more of a stable payout.
Yeah.
But Dota 2, they still have the highest payout on record, year after year after year after year, because of how the whole financing of the prize pooling works. But if you're not in that top 1% bracket, you're not really making that much. You're not making enough to live. And so while it may seem on the outside, this esport makes the most money, regardless of how hard you're climbing, unless you're in that top bracket of, we'll say 10% or 20%, you're not really going to make enough money to live as a competitive fighting game player. Regardless of how good you are, the pool is only getting bigger now. And so, in the sports, even though the esports are getting bigger and more known, the pool of players is also getting bigger, and there's also becoming a more large gap in the young kids now. The young kids, they have better hand-eye coordination than we are.
Yes.
You think you can fuck with a fucking 11-year-old kid who doesn't have a job or doesn't go their hand-eye coordination is fucking god tier, bro. They're on Fortnite.
The reactions
dude,
are god
it's
tier.
crazy, and it's not a thing to be really old dudes can still win. We see Street Fighter, a lot of the old Japanese players.
Daigo, for example.
They still cook the old kids because of they know better. But hand-eye coordination is still a very real thing, and tech advancing and people pushing the envelope on what's usable. It's very real.
Yeah. So I just want to say super quick that we have confirmation from Gemini DTX. Gemini DTX that Umisho uses she, they pronouns.
Perfect. Thank you.
We will respect that. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I wasn't aware. But I did have an idea, but I wasn't sure. But so now that I'm sure,
Umisho dates Razzo. Razzo, the Leo player, another top tier player, and she's lucky because she has one of the best Guilty Gear players out there. As a training partner / girlfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You'll be showing Rezo. They're dating, yeah. So
I did see her girlfriend.
There's a joke too
They
about
were
them
they
being
were like
training
super
partners.
hugging. Oh yeah.
Like the whole thing. It's a funny joke, but I agree with Bridge. Net pay experience being one of the most significant holdbacks of Marvel 3. That we didn't really have a really good way to have net play. Excuse me. Over time, and even Parsec is still something that is still spotty and has issues that we run into, like any other net play thing. But
absolutely.
What about offline? Yeah, offline is best Marvel, but I've met great players online that I've never even heard of. I had a guy that I met on Steam that I added as a friend. We played like 100 of Parsec games, and he cooked me. I mean, like, I've never even heard of him, and he's just a dude that was going to school, like, eating tacos and hanging out with his girlfriend. Like, ridiculous player, but he just didn't show out.
Yeah.
And it sucks that maybe more of those people, like you're saying, didn't come out because of, like, the money wasn't good enough or the notoriety wasn't worth it or nobody was streaming. Like, I've had experiences even with my small and, like, minuscule experience that, like, nothing got streamed. None of my games got streamed, or like none of my matches got recorded, and those sort of things are really big motivators for fighting game players, being able to look back upon their own gameplay, the little victories, or like OCVing like a character, be like, oh, I lost a set, but you know what? I got this really good OCV, and like rewatching their gameplay and like
absolutely
being able to hang out with people and talk with people and things like that. Those are the sort of things, like every little thing,
absolutely. I have also come across a player or some players that completely, like, at my best, you know, even with the influence of lag, you know, which there is which it is like really prevalent online. I've definitely come across some players that just make me look like trash. And just like,
wow, I really don't know that much.
They don't want to come offline because of certain reasons or whatever it is, and I just feel like it's wasted potential. And
it feels like that,
but you never know what would happen if they did come offline. Right, which is the argument. But even then, I still have some place in my heart that like tells me that there are definitely people out there that could potentially be better, and that you have to kind of like meet them even if they're not there. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll say like everything about people that are like learning the game and like good at the game or like maybe advanced the game. But we can even go at the 1% level. RyanLV. When was the last time you seen him show up offline?
Oh yeah.
As skilled as he is, as many people as he's cooked over the years, it's like he just doesn't. He's not there.
I'm just gonna open up this wound again, but it's like not even at what was it? Reflex Las Vegas, right? Which was a tournament that was like supposed to be specifically so that RyanLV wouldn't have to travel, would be able to come out and not even have to travel and still be able to make it, right?
Quote unquote, like if he had a tournament at his front doorstep, would he show up?
Exactly, like and that's exactly what happened. Is that the tournament was at his front doorstep? It was about 15-minute drive from or something like that from his home, from his own home, and he was still like, yeah, I'm not going to show up. And the potential, right, to show up and just get first place. And body everybody.
What can you do about that?
And he was just like, yeah, I'm not going to show up because I don't feel like it. And it's just like, I don't understand how.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Monetarily, like, you can just give up about like a couple $1,000s and just not give, just not show up. It's not worth it.
It could not be worth it.
I don't feel like it. You know, that to me, I'm sorry, but that really upsets me as a player that is willing to travel just to get a little bit of notoriety, just to get a little bit of potential, like, you know, like pot bonuses, you know, whatever it is. I'm willing to travel. But if somebody's not willing to travel like 15 minutes away from their home, and it's like, really, bro, like, this is your hometown. you know, I'm sorry, but I'm cool. I'm cool with RyanLV. But like that really upsets me, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand how you could do that to your own.
But regardless of like your opinion, right? Is there anything you can actually do about that in reality to the other player? There's nothing,
Absolutely
right?
not. No.
There's nothing you can really say.
Absolutely
There's
not.
probably
I can't force anybody to
right.
join
You can't
a tournament.
force somebody to play. You can maybe try to say like the right thing to the person, but I'm sure that the person has other people around that they respect and that respect them, that they would hear their input correctly, but they don't care. I'm sure people are like, why don't you just go? Like, you can go and you'll win. You know you're that nice. But they're just like, oh, I just don't care. I'd rather go and do whatever it might be. Or maybe there was something that was important to them. But regardless, the bottom line is they didn't go, and you can't really tell them anything.
It wasn't
to go.
worth it to them, right? It wasn't worth their time. It wasn't worth the energy, whatever it could be, right? To me, that's a giant, like, and to other players, too. I will not name them. But there, we had discussions that night, that day, right, about, hey, man, you know, RyanLV, you know, this whole tournament was supposed to be for, like, RyanLV to, you know, it was in his hometown. This is why we all traveled here, so that RyanLV would show up, and, you know, he decided not to. And it was kind of a big insult. It was kind of a big insult to us. And, you
definitely
know,
frustrating from a competitor standpoint.
Absolutely.
I definitely see how frustrating to have, like, a person just be like, nah, I'm not really feeling it.
And, you know, he's such a big prevalence. He's such a big prevalent figure in like the FGC. Well, not the FGC, but just like in the Marvel community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure if he put in enough effort, he would be an awesome force in the FGC. You know what I mean? He'd probably be amazing at other games as well. But it just seems like, you know, he didn't really want to be. I don't know. You know,
and if he doesn't want to, there's not really like. What are you gonna motivate somebody like that?
Yeah, it's just like maybe their goals are for in something else. Maybe you know what I mean? Like maybe their goals are in like some real life activity or something like that. And it's just tough because like, you know, to us, you know, the FGC for me, it's my home. You know what I mean? Like it means a lot to me. And like if I had the opportunity to be like someone as prevalent as like RyanLV, then it would. Oh shit. Then it would be like it would be like something that I, you know, strive to be. But you know, if somebody's just like, nah, you know, I don't really feel like it.
It might
you know what I mean?
it could be an OS, it might not.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that they just did not go.
Yeah.
And like regardless of how much we want to say or think or do, the reality only lies within maybe him, or maybe he might be even lying to himself. Maybe he's telling the truth, or maybe like. The reality is he didn't care. Yeah. But if he doesn't care and you were to put him in that venue, how would he play? Do you think he would give a fuck about winning or losing? Like, if he genuinely did not want to be there, if you were to put him in that chair and play, maybe he would rise up, maybe he wouldn't give a fuck.
I absolutely think if he did show up, he would show up and he would body everyone just like everybody thinks he would.
Long Island Nick brings up a good point. Viscant always talked about how after he won EVO, he felt an obligation to go as many events as possible and do money matches with everyone who asked him till 3 a.m. every day. Okay. There is like that aspect of being at that spot where everybody and their fucking mama wants to fucking kill you. Everybody.
Because you're number one. Everybody wants to go after the number one.
It's like a curse in its own. It's like
it's a damning target on your back. Is what it is. It's a damning target.
And like, I can't imagine for like. I mean, I have my inspirations, right? So I'll just speak in like a theory concept, like, oh, I want to win on the big stage. But like, after you win on the big stage and like you are considered a champion, highest level player, like there are things that are like extremely empty after that have no value. Like, say you play 10 people that want to play you in casuals because you're the best, and you just all 10 of them, and you just like,
and you body them like
where is it? Like, you know, like that as you're where you play at now, you play at like the highest level of Marvel, right? Like if you play 10 guys,
I try.
No, well you do, regardless of what you think, right? That's where you live at when it comes down to playing Marvel in reality. So if you were to play like 10 guys that are like, please, I want to play you, and you play these guys, they don't block low, they don't tech throws, they don't know how to super DHC retroactively. Like, I just win off of doing nothing. Like, I don't know what that's
does that
like.
fulfill you, right?
It doesn't. You can play like we're saying, like day in
Yeah.
and day out. You can go to every tournament that you can show up at day in and day out. But as soon as you lose, you're like, oh, I beat the champ. You know, like oh, he can't fuck with me. Like
Yeah.
we're not. Maybe we're not like the best people. We can say that we're kind of sportsmanlike. We try to hold ourselves to a certain standard. We'll shake our hand. We might talk some shit. But we'll calm down. We'll shake people's hands. Say like, you know, maybe I'm sorry for popping off or something like that. But it's all respectable. Like, we carry ourselves. But not everybody's like that to where they'll be like, oh, you know, good shit. You know, that was a smart setup. Good shit. I respect that. You know, next time I got you.
Yeah.
Some people will fucking do everything sort of taking off their pants and just fucking, you know, kicking the chair over. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand that when it comes to like a fighting game perspective. I never want to lose, but there are certain people that I would do anything besides lose to because of how they carry themselves. And I can understand, like, for him, like, he doesn't care enough. After he's reached the top, there's nothing that he has to prove to anybody anymore. But at the same time, there is a competitive point of, like, you wanted to be the champ, now it's time to be the champ. You know, there are levels of that I haven't reached, and so I can't really speak from the after point. I just speak from here.
Okay. Now, see, that brings up a position where I have to feel like
8-7.
if I was in that position, you know what I mean, and everybody was just so not a challenge. Let's just say, right? Everybody was just, you know, I'm just doing my thing, and I body everybody, and I don't even have to think about it. A one-punch man, that's what you're saying, right? Now, that just brings up a saying to me, and that is that, did Einstein walk around thinking everybody was fucking stupid?
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, bro, if he walked around thinking everyone was stupid, you know what I mean, and he beat everybody without thinking twice about it, you know what I mean, then the game isn't fulfilling. But I know there were people that made it fulfill at least a challenge for him. Like Chris G would go like toe to toe with
Sweat, you know, and
with RyanLV at almost every time they fought. You know what I mean? So it's like it can't be like you just make everyone look super free. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. But that's like you're saying the beginning of your sentence was like, if that was me.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So that like you're saying, like from where we stand, but at the end of the day, like he's his own player. He plays his characters his own way. He has his own journey, and like we respect his gameplay as much as we might be like, I would rather you like to do that. Everything that what it takes for him to be him is what it takes for him to play his character as a person. So it's kind of like an artist who has, like a musical artist who has a substance abuse and they die at a really young age. Oh man, I love that artist so much. You know, they gave me some of my favorite music that I've ever heard. Yeah. It's a shame that they died earlier, etc., etc. I would have liked to see them live longer. The very thing that it took for them to create that, or to be that player, or to do whatever thing is the very thing that is who they were, and it's the reason why they passed away, or the reason why the things are no longer like that. So it's very difficult to kind of bottle a player or an artist or whatever it may be as like a thing. It's like we love them when they succeed, but when they do the thing that we don't like, kind of like, drat, I really wish they would have thought like me. It is a very hard middle ground, and is from a critical point we can stand from it. But in reality, the only thing we really want is to see them play.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we want to see them play more and play against them or whatever it is.
Now, would you think, right, saying that, you know, that like, you know, what you said encompassed into like a couple words is basically like, yo, RyanLV was amazing. He's only played a little bit, right? About like a couple of years. I would have loved to see him play more, but I'll take, you know, what he has, you know, what he's done so far.
We saw what he did, and it was great. And we were like, everybody's a fan. Give us more, encore. And then he just disappears. It's like, maybe that was it.
Do you think? so like all of that put up into like one, you know what I mean, like one experience, and so you feel like people would prefer him to play more. Like in that experience, like it's like they say, like, you know, leave them wanting more, which is kind of like what you said, right? So it's like leave them wanting more. So like he did that, and so do you think that people want to see him lose?
I think people just want to see him like on the stage. They just want to see him there. They want to see him show up. Obviously, like, he doesn't want to lose, and like maybe some of his fans don't want to see him lose. Maybe some people do want to see him lose.
I don't want to see him lose.
Some people do though. Some people want to say, like, well, let's say for example, like, you don't want to see him lose. You see you versus him in bracket. You want to see him lose?
I'd like to see a good match.
No,
probably win.
You want to win. You
I
don't necessarily want to see him fail.
Listen, I would love to be the guy that beats RyanLV, but I've been there. I've been there, right? In my years of experience, I've been there, and I know it's probably not going to happen. I'm probably not going to be that guy.
But the reality is, you don't want to see him fail, but you want to succeed. And so, in a sense, you want to see you come on top.
Everybody kind of wants to see.
But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, in a sense, nobody wants to see him fail until he comes to challenge you, right?
Yeah,
right.
That's the big one.
But we just want to see him play. If it's anybody but you, you want to see him win.
Yeah.
But there is a time where you do want to see him lose.
Of course.
And so,
because you have to root for
because
yourself.
as you as a competitor, you're not going to give him games. You're not going to give him any throws. You're not going to give him anything. You want to beat him. But that aside, you want to see RyanLV succeed. You want to see him play. You want to see him at tournaments. Yeah. Whether he wins or loses, you're a fan, right?
Yeah.
But as a competitor, you want to see him lose. You don't want to see him beat you.
I mean, of course.
Exactly,
right?
100%. There's nothing wrong with that.
Everybody's going to be like, do I want to win versus RyanLV?
Like, hell yeah.
Do you know what that means? Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know how much
it means for you, what it means for everybody. Like, yeah, 100%.
He still plays on PSN.
Fuck out of here, bro. This guy, that guy got something wrong with him. He still plays on PSN.
To this day.
He still plays, bro. Maybe that's what he was always supposed to be. Maybe he was just supposed to pull off of PSM for a little while. And
maybe he's just looking for something. I don't know. I have to pee.
I don't know.
I have to
yeah.
go back. Don't.
Come on, Kian. I gotta pee after. Maybe Priest will take over after I use that. What up, Q?
Yeah. Okay. Huh? I don't remember. I really don't. What's up, Stream? It's been a long time. I got beat.
It's I think it's tied. Is it tied?
Monkey Senpai? What is this Senpai? I've
9-8 who?
I don't even know what Senpai is.
Monkey?
To look it up.
Damn!
Oh. Who still plays on PSN to this day?
Monkey is still fucking good, bro. Monkey.
Milky?
Monkey.
Oh, Monkey? Yeah,
Monkey is ridiculous.
No, I was asking who still plays on PSN to this day?
Oh, we were talking about RyanLV.
Oh, this was charged at 0? I still remember where everything is at.
Pizza cutter. Time to deal with a fun mix-up. This is fun. Oh, jam session. Hey. You hear him hitting the button? He can play out the X.
Oh, that would have been a
Nice. Yeah. Wow, what a block. That was a dummy block.
On your neck. Oh, damn.
Plasma Gus, good luck, bro.
Damn. Once he came out of retirement, take a name? Huh?
The follow. Plasma, the follow.
Oh, follow? Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Monkey is an instant snapper. He doesn't even get like a good some people will carry their combo a little bit to do a little bit of damage. Monkey said, "Fuck that, I'm snapping."
Yeah, he's snapping. That's all that. I kill the first character. And I'm snapping you in.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he's like, "Fuck that, I'm snapping immediately."
Oh, that's 2. 2 for 5.
No. This is better than Strider or Virgil.
Oh. Yeah.
Woo! Nice. Vamos, wey.
You can tell you love this.
Jorge.
Oh! That was godlike. I think that was it though. Oh.
Vamos, wey.
Oh.
Está bien.
Hey.
We screaming for you. My bad, Jamal. Ah, vamos, está bien.
Oh!
Art talking like his girlfriend. Wow, why are you so good?
Oh! Another reset. Oh, let's just mix. Oh, Psycho Crusher!
Oh, what a good grab. He cheated. Nice. Vamos, way.
I think Eric just